Hi Diamondbacks, my name is Monica Campbell. I am the media teacher here at Sheryl Pioneer High School. Today I'm going to show you in this video how to log in into your Google Classroom so that you can join the Google Meets for your classes. The first thing that we need to cover is your Chrome browser. It is highly recommended that you log in into the Chrome browser with your school account to make it easier so that you can go into all of the different Google apps and it automatically go into your school account, just to prevent any issues between accounts fighting with each other if you're logged in into Chrome with one thing and then Google Drive with something else. So let's take a look in here. At the top right corner there's going to be a little icon, and click on that. It's going to tell you who's logged in into Chrome at that moment. So right now I have my school account in here, I have my daughter's account, and I have my personal account. So you can have a lot of different accounts, and it just makes a different icon on your desktop so that you can go to the specific account that you need to use. So for yours, if you have not logged in into Chrome, I recommend that you click add. You're gonna type in a name, and it's best if you add something in here that will remind you that is your school account. Like for example, you can add your school ID number or your user number, or if you can just put your name and then put SPHS at the end, anything that will remind you that this is your school account. So for this one I'm just going to put SPHS because I'm using my SPHS media account for this tutorial. You can click on that little icon and make sure that you leave this checked on. The little check mark is going to make sure that you're going to get a shortcut to your Chrome browser that's logged in into your school account on your desktop. Now for those of you that are using a Chromebook, when you log into Chromebook with your school account, it probably should be logging into your Chrome with your school account already. So I don't believe you have to do that. You don't have to go in and change the account on the top right corner and go through all this process. It should already log you in into Chrome with your school account. If it doesn't, then this is how you would change that, okay? You're gonna click sign in. Once you get this window, you're gonna enter your school email. And of course, yours is gonna be your username at students.sherylandisd.org. You're gonna click next, and you're gonna enter your password. The next thing you're going to get is this window right here. It's asking if you want to link your Chrome data with your account. And we do want to do this. This is going to allow us to get the district extensions that have been already approved and that are being pushed into Chrome. This is also going to allow you to save your apps, your bookmarks, your anything that you are already having or saving into your Chrome browser. And this is especially helpful if you have a different computer at home where you can just log in into Chrome and it will pull all of that information over, so you don't have to go in and start doing all your bookmarks all over again. So we're going to go ahead and click link data, and then you're going to click yes, I'm in, because I do want to sync my bookmarks and my password and my history and all that information. Okay. So once we do this, notice how it automatically gave me all of these things. These are my favorites that I have added on the computer at the school's studio's computer. So they're already there. Okay. You are going to get this ad block that has already been pushed forward into Chrome by the district. Other extensions that have been pushed are Edpuzzle, Flip Screen, Google Meet, Push to Talk, Kami, Meet Attendance Nod, Share to Classroom, and a couple of others. We're going to go over these in a little bit, so we don't have to worry about those right now. Okay. So once you're logged in into Chrome, the next step is going to be to go and figure out what times you have to show up to class. And to do that, we can go into this, click on this little house, and that's going to take you to our district website. From the district website, we're going to select the school and of course choose Sheryl Pioneer High School. And right on the page is going to be our remote learning bell schedule. This is going to tell you what time your classes are going to start. So starting with first block at 8:07, or at least a couple of minutes before the beginning of the class, that's when you're going to go into the Google Meet to begin class. Okay, so first block is at 8:07, second block at 9:44. You then are going to have lunch starting at 11:14. Then you're going to go to third block at 11:56, fourth at 1:33, and fifth block at 2:30. And notice it here says from August 17th to September 24th. That is how until when or how long we're going to be using this schedule for remote learning. Okay. You can download this also into your computer if you want to save it in your computer or on your phone. So now that we know what time we need to show up at school, let's go ahead and go into our Google Classroom so that I can show you where you're going to access those links to go into Google Meet. So we're going to click on the plus sign to open a new tab. We're going to go into Google Classroom. We can just type out classroom.google.com or just search Classroom and go into the Classroom link in your search bar in your results. So here we have I have temporarily added these classes into this account just so that I can show you in this tutorial. So you're going to have your classes here. Now, what I recommend that you do is that you bookmark this page right here so that they'll be right here on the top on the tabs on your favorites. To bookmark this, there's this little star right here at the end of your address bar. Click the little star and notice it's going to give you a little bookmark. Make sure it is selected on the bookmarks bar and then click done. And now you're going to have classes here. If you don't want to have it at the end, you can move it to the beginning or move it wherever you want to have it, okay? So going back to the classes, when you log in into Google Classroom, it should automatically take you into it. If you're already logged in into Chrome with your school account, it should take you in here right away. If it doesn't, it might ask you to log in, so you just have to log in, okay? If you see that it's not giving you any classes at all and you're logged into Chrome with your school account, just make sure that you're also logged in into your school account in here. So it should also have your school account here and your school account here if you're logged in into Chrome with your school account as well. Okay. So once you're in here and you see your classes are going to have pretty much the same convention, the same naming convention as these right here. They might not have the second line, but they should have at least the top line. So the first part is going to be the block number, the class that it is, the teacher, and the term or semester at the end. If you don't see, like on the, for example, this class name is really long, so I don't see whether it's fall or spring, because you might have all of your fall and all of your spring classes in here. So you need to figure out which are classes that you're going to have to take that you're taking right now, right? So if you don't see this, you can just click on that and it should say at the end. Now for mine, I removed it and I forgot to add it back in, but I do have it here in this area as well. Okay. So going back over here, you're going to see, you're going to have your first block, fall, second block, fall, third, fourth, fifth block, and all of those classes. Okay. And you might have more in here. Now notice mine are already organized. I have first, second, and then you will have third, fourth, fifth. If yours are not sorted like this, you can sort it yourself. You can just grab them and move them and place them where they're supposed to be. And this is going to help you to get a little bit more organized and not have to be looking for classes all over the place, right? So just organize them like this so that way they are in order and they're easy to access. So let's say that it's already what time? We're supposed to be in class. At 8:07, we're supposed to be in class. So a few minutes before, we're going to go to class. We're going to go to classroom, go into your first block. And in your first block, you're going to see this Meet link. This is the link that you're going to be using to log in into your classroom Google Meet with your teacher. And it's going to be done every day. Okay. You're going to click on this. Now the first thing that you're going to get is, if you've never logged in into a Google Meet before with this account, you're going to get this notification asking for permission to allow the use of your camera and your microphone. And you want to allow that, of course. So we're going to click allow. and it's gonna ask if you want to show the notifications. You can go ahead and click allow as well. Once you get that all done, then you are more than likely going to be able to join the classroom. Now, if your teacher is not logged into the class yet, let's say you're there like 30 minutes early and you're waiting for your teacher and you're trying to log into the Meet, it's not going to work. You're going to get an error that says that the class has not started. So you're going to have to wait a little bit longer or a little bit until you get closer to the start time, and then refresh your Google Meet and see if you're able to log in. Okay. Right now it is allowing me to join because I have a different type of account than you guys. So I'll be able to join in this one. Okay. So once you're ready, once your teacher is there and you refresh your Google Meet and everything's good, you're going to go ahead and be able to join now. And you want to join in with at least your microphone muted. It should join you automatically with your microphone muted because of an extension that we're using. So we're going to go ahead and click join now. You don't need to worry about this. And this is what you're going to see. Okay. So on here, you're going to see that your microphone is muted and the camera is not turned on right now. If you need to speak and you want to unmute, you can press the space bar, and that is going to unmute you so that you can talk to your teacher. To mute yourself, press the space bar and you'll be able to mute your microphone. Same thing if you just want to click the button, but we're able to just press the space bar to mute and unmute because we have a special extension that allows us to do that. The next thing that we need to verify is that your microphone, your speakers, and your camera are all set up correctly. Okay. To check to see if all that is done right and you're going to be able to hear your teacher, what we're going to do is we're going to go to more options. There's just 3 little dots at the bottom right corner. You're going to click on that and then go to settings. In the settings, you're going to have the audio settings and your video settings. Under the audio, you need to make sure that you are selecting the correct microphone. If you don't have more than one microphone, then you obviously just have that one and that's what you're going to pick, or you're going to leave as. And then speakers, same thing. If you have more than one speaker outputs, like let's say your computer speakers, but then you also have your earbuds or headphones or AirPods or something plugged in as well, and let's say that you're not able to hear your teacher, then this is where you would want to go to find what it is that you want to use to be able to listen to the Meet. So find the one that works, and then you'll be able to hear and see how it has a test. So if you're not sure which one it is that you're supposed to be using, you can go through each one and do a test on each one until you get to the one that you can actually hear on to hear from. Then for the video, if you have an external camera, you can check to see here to make sure that it's picking up the correct camera. If you're using the integrated camera from your computer, from your laptop or your Chromebook, then this will probably be just that one camera that you have available, and you won't be able to pick a different one. So once you do all your settings, your microphone and your speakers are done correctly, you're going to go ahead and click done. Right now I'm not able to turn on my camera because I am using the camera to record this session, but you will be able to turn this on, and we want to see your faces, so I recommend that you do turn on your camera and you pick a spot at home where you'll feel comfortable to turn on your camera when we are having our sessions, because we want to see your pretty faces instead of just looking at blank screens, right? It makes it better for everybody. So in here, once you are set up and everything, then you're ready to get started with class. Now looking at the top right corner, you're going to see some options in here. The first one is to show everyone, and this is going to show you who is in the Meet. And on next to that, you're going to see the chat option. This is where your teacher might post information, links to resources, instructions, or anything like that. Some teachers might prefer for you to enter to type in your questions in here instead of unmuting yourself, but that is going to be your teacher's preference. But so this is where you would enter your questions or your comments or anything like that. Okay, and then you have your people right here. So you have these options right there. Now over here on the left, you might not have this already installed. You might or might not. This is an extension called Nod, and this is what allows you to raise your hand if you do have a question but you don't want to use the speaker to raise your hand or use your camera to raise your hand. You can use this little icon right here and it will show a pop-up that says that so and so has raised their hand, and this is going to prompt the teacher so that they know that you need to ask a question. If you change your mind or you press an error, you can clear it by clicking on the little X right here, and that will go away. If your teacher is checking for understanding and they ask you to give a thumbs up or a thumbs down, you click on this little emoji icon and then select the appropriate icon. And there's different ones in here. Okay. Now, if you don't have this right here, it's probably because the district is not pushing that extension into your Chrome browser. I do recommend that you use it. It is very useful, and your teacher will be able to use it or see it as long as they also have the extension installed in their Chrome browser. So if you don't have it and you want to install it, or you want to see if it is installed, you're going to go to this little puzzle, and this is where you're able to manage your extensions. We're going to go to manage extensions, and you're going to see here there's a lot of different extensions that are already going to be coming in with your account automatically. If an extension has this little orange circle, it says added by policy, that means that it has been pushed already by the district. So those extensions that have that icon are going to be automatically turned on. You cannot turn them off and you cannot remove them. Now this is only for the Chrome browsers that are logged into the school account. So if you have your parents and they have their own Chrome browser with their own accounts, or your siblings, they're not going to get those extensions as well. This is just for your account. So there are several different browser extensions that are going to be used automatically, and then I had already added the Nod extension in here from before, but if you don't have it, like for example, I'm going to remove this one, so I don't have it anymore. So if you don't have that extension, we can add it in. We can open a new tab and click on apps right here. Now if you don't have this icon right here where it says apps, then you can just search Chrome Web Store. So it's right there, Chrome Web Store. So click Chrome Web Store and then go in here, and we want to search Nod, and it's going to be this first one right here. You click on this and you'll be able to add to Chrome. It is a very useful extension if you want to raise your hand with it instead of turning on your camera or opening up your microphone or typing in something. You can use that right away. So in here it has prompted me telling me that the extension had been added, and you can go back into the little puzzle and you'll be able to see the extensions right here. On the right side next to the extension, you're going to have this little pin, and what this pin does is that you're able to pin that specific extension into your browser next to your address bar. So like say for example Kami, which more than likely you're going to be using quite a bit in your class assignments. Now I have Kami here, and you can turn them on and turn them off, or it's not really turning on and off, it's just pinning them, and so that you have quick access to them. Things like Nod and Meet to Push or Push to Talk, you don't have to have them pinned for them to work. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the Meet. You have those in there. So now let's say that you're going through your class, you're going through your lessons, and you're finished and your class is over. You can go ahead and hang up or leave the class by clicking on this little button, leave the call. And that's it, you can close this browser. So now let's say I'm going to close these two and we don't need those. Now let's say that it's getting close to your second block. What time does second block start? 9:44. So it says 9:40. I'm going to go back to classroom, go into my classes, or you can just select it from here, go into your next class. and you're going to repeat the same process. You're going to go into the Meet, join, and then get started with your class. Okay. Now, as far as how to use Google Classroom, if most of you are already familiar with Google Classroom, since we've been using it for quite a while, even if you're an incoming freshman, you more than likely have already been using Google Classroom. Just a quick reminder, the Google Stream or the Classroom Stream is where any updates, announcements are going to be posted by your teacher, as well as any assignments that have been posted in the classroom as well. You'll see them in there. To see the class work that is coming up due or that has already been posted, you go to classwork and you're going to be able to see your work in here. Okay, so notice in here it says track your progress. You click view work and it's going to give you a list of all of your assignments. You can see here what has been assigned, what your teacher has already graded and returned, and what is still missing. So that's very useful. You also have your calendar, so whenever your teacher submits an assignment and you want to see when those assignments are due all together, so you can see all of your classes and all of your assignments that are coming up due, you can go into your calendar and you'll see them in here. So right now it says all classes, but if let's say you only want to see your first block class assignments, you can just select that one and this will change so that it only shows you that one specific class. Okay, so this is really useful so that you can keep yourself organized. You have also the to-do list. This is just going to give you a list of all of the different assignments for all of your classes that are still coming up due that you have not finished. That's on the to-do. On the done is what you have already completed and turned in. In here you also have the folder to go into the Google Classroom folder for that one specific class. You really don't have to work or worry about this one unless you want to access assignments that you have already completed for a class and you want to be able to access them. You click on this and that will open up your Google Classroom with that folder for that class, and all of the files and all the assignments that you have received from your teacher and that you have turned in will appear in here. Okay, so the last thing that I want to show you is how to access our brand new Twitter school news channel or account. So if you can go into Twitter, search my SPHS, and you're gonna see that we have our SPHS news account in here now. This is just being created, so to keep up with information and any updates or announcements, I recommend that you follow this channel so that you can be up to date with what's going on in the school. Okay, so that's it, Diamondbacks. That's all I have for you today. I really hope that your first day, your first week of remote learning are successful. Remember, we're all in this together. No matter what bumps on the road that we encounter, we can work on them together and we can resolve them and help each other, right? So if you need anything, if you are going to be absent during a class, make sure that you contact your teacher. Remember, we're here for you. You can also contact your counselors. Remember, you should already have your counselor's Google Meet or Google Classroom in here as well. You can always contact them as well and send them an email if you need any help or anything dealing with your classes. And of course, you can contact us, your teachers, as well. Okay, so that's it for now. I hope you have a wonderful weekend and that you are ready to start Monday morning. We're so looking forward to seeing your pretty faces, every single one of you. Remember, you are important and we miss you. We really miss all of you guys, and we can't wait to see you Monday morning. Have a wonderful weekend. See you soon.